A homeless man was sweeping the sidewalk when a man arrived. The man then proceeds to take some cash out of his backpack and hide it in a plastic bag. After he finishes hiding the money, he looks at the homeless man and motions him not to say anything to anyone. He then leaves and the homeless man goes to the place. At that moment, a policeman arrives and asks if the homeless man had seen a man pass by. He then says that he didn't see anyone, so the officer says he would stay nearby looking for him. The policeman then says that if the homeless man saw someone, he was supposed to let him know. He then leaves and continues looking for the man. Meanwhile, the man is fleeing the scene. The policeman then continues looking for him, but ends up failing to find him. The two then continue with that for a while. The man running, trying to hide, and the policeman running after him trying to find him. This continues until the man hides behind a car and the policeman walks past him, but he doesn't realize the man was hiding and drives away. The man, while fleeing, sees a house with an open gate. He then enters the house and takes some clothes that were there. The man then takes some clothes that were in the house and then he starts to put the clothes on. When finished, he leaves his bag at the scene and leaves the house. Later, a policeman passes by. He then passes close to the man and ends up bumping into him. The officer then apologizes to the man, as he had not identified him. The policeman then asks the man if he had seen a man passing by. He says the man was wearing a pink backpack and a black shirt, as well as having some tattoos. The man then said he hadn't seen anyone and the officer thanks him. He then said he would keep looking for power and leaves. The man then seizes this opportunity and returns home. He then begins to remove the clothes he had taken, and then takes the backpack he had left at the scene and leaves. Soon he goes back to where he had left the money and he asks the homeless man where his money was. The homeless man asks what he was talking about and the man says that he had left the money in that bag and that he was trying to steal it. The homeless man then says that if he was stealing from a thief, that was fine, but the man said that he was not a thief. The homeless man then asks if he wasn't a thief and the man said he could explain. So we're going to show that some time ago, the man had the money. He then takes out his phone and calls his daughter. He told his daughter not to worry, he could find a way to buy her medicine. Soon, and hangs up the phone, starts walking down the street. The policeman then calls out to him and tells him to wait. The man then asks why the officer is stopping him. The commercial tells us to be concerned as it was just standard procedure. The policeman then starts to search the man, but he finds nothing. He then asks what the man was carrying in that backpack and the man said it was nothing. Officer then says he wanted to see what the man was carrying in his backpack and tells him to show it. At that moment, the man decides to run out of there and the policeman runs after him. The man then says that that was why he was running away from the policeman. The homeless man then asks why he ran away from the policeman. The man then said that if a policeman, for a person like him, he would not let him explain anything and would soon arrest her. The man says that the officer was going to end up accusing him of something he didn't do. The homeless man then says that he understood what the man was going through. At this moment, the policeman arrives and takes him by the arms. The homeless man then said that the man had done nothing, but the policeman says that he had all the profile of a thief. He said that the man had tattoos and that he walked a certain way, that only thieves did that. The homeless man then says that the man was innocent and need the policeman. At that moment, the man runs away and the policeman runs after him. The officer soon loses sight of him and he then continues to search for the man. The man then thanks the homeless man for his help, then leaves. Later, the policeman approaches the homeless man and asks if he was the man's partner. The policeman then said that the homeless man liked to help people, so he would help him. The policeman said he would take him to the man's house, but the homeless man said he didn't know where it was. The policeman says he didn't believe the homeless man, because he knew where the man lived. Later, the man arrives at his house. He then greets his daughter, and the little girl asks how her father was doing. The man then tells his daughter that now that he had arrived, everything would be fine, but the little girl asks why it took him so long to get home. Meanwhile, the homeless man was taking the policeman to the man's house. Arriving at the scene, the officer asks if that's where the man lived. The policeman then starts to try to see through the gate, but he doesn't see much. He then enters the grounds of the man's house and arrives at the door of the house. He then proceeds to look inside the man's house. The man says that now that he had the money, he could pay for his daughter's treatment. The little girl then asks how her father got the money. He then says that he had to sell his car and some watches he had, plus that he now had the money and everything would work out. The little girl then hugs her father, says he was the best father in the world. The policeman keeps watching from the sidelines and he realizes the mistake he had made. A pain in the street then tells the policeman that he couldn't judge people by where they live or what they look like. The policeman then says that he was wrong about the man and that he would have to make up for his mistake as soon as possible. The policewoman then knocks on the door and the man answers. He is then surprised and asks how the police found him there. The policeman then tells him to stay calm, as he was not there to arrest him, but to redeem himself. He then said that he had misjudged the man by his appearance and his tattoos. The policeman then says that he had made a mistake, but that he came to understand that what he had done was wrong and that he would never chase the man like that again. The man then said that I had what the policeman was very important to him, so thank you. The policeman then said that he didn't need to thank him. He then says that he was sorry for what he had done, but he wanted to leave and wishes him good luck. The homeless man then said that he was leaving too, but the man interrupts him. He then asks the homeless man if he wants to eat something with them. The homeless man then said that he would really like it, and the man said that he was very grateful to him, because without the homeless man's help he would not have made it. The man then goes to the kitchen of his house and prepares 2 snacks. He then hands one to the homeless man and one to his daughter. This makes the homeless man very happy and he says he hasn't had a snack like that in a long time.